Welcome to TransMissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. On this episode, the Beast Wars Megatron and Optimus Primal voice actors send out their dueling holiday greetings on YouTube. New G1 production artifacts have been unearthed, and we've got a slew of new guest announcements for TFNation and TFcon LA. Today's Friday, January 13th, 2023, and this is episode 320 of TransMissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to TransMissions Alt Mode, the podcast that still has not elected a speaker for the show after 15 rounds of voting. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent TransMissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Don't blame me. I voted for Megatron. How you doing?
The amazing and awesome producer and editor, Mike.
Sorry, no one told me that we're holding the vote today, so I must have missed it.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Good morning. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for your continued contributions. We really appreciate it, and it helps keep the show going. If you are not a Donatreon and would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up and get all those perks and benefits for becoming a Donatreon. So bonus content, bonus shows, merchandise, lots of cool goodies, automatic entrance into our contests, all that good stuff. So check it out. Of course, this week we had the bonus episode of our Transformers Live Play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. This was episode 93. Sweet Home Ambassador. So that's that is available on our Patreon page, the uncut extra bits episode with lots of good stuff left in there. But the regular version of episode 93 will be out on the main TransMissions Empire of Rust feed next Monday. So you've only got a couple more days before that comes out if you are not a Donatron and don't have access yet. So just go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And that's where you can listen. We've also other bonus shows. I've been told I neglected our other bonus shows that have been out. So I just want to give a shout out to the awesome show that our good friend Dr. Pants puts on for We Like Big Bots. He does a great job on that show. I think someone else is on there with him, but Dr. Pants is really the reason you got to watch that show. So
He's the star. I mean, I don't know why. He's the big draw here.
Exactly. So yes, Daryl's in there too.
Oh, Daryl, you joined him for an episode?
I help out every now and then.
Yeah, so they talk about their love for those big juicy bots, and they've done different bots every episode. So check it out exclusively on our Patreon page. So you can access it there. They're all video episodes, so you can all watch them in beautiful high definition and see the bots that they get. All right. We were off for 2 weeks, but we did have some awesome episodes in the interim. So we didn't miss any of our regular scheduled episodes. We had some special ones come out. So for Alt Mode, we had the interviews with Jim Shooter. Daryl did an interview with the legendary Jim Shooter. Very cool. They got the opportunity to talk to him. Of course, known for doing the original treatment for the Transformers Marvel comic, and that led to the show Bible for the cartoon and everything else that came out of that back in the 80s, of course. But he's, of course, much more known for being the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics during the 80s. Did a lot of cool stuff there. So go listen to that or watch that. It's on video. It's on on YouTube. Yeah. In addition to the Jim Shooter interview, we also had an interview with Brandon T. Snyder that Jeremy did, who wrote the book "What Is the Story of Transformers?" That's a kid's book to introduce kids to the Transformers universe. That was a cool interview as well. And we had the Robeson interview we did at TFCon Chicago that Daryl did with the representative from Robeson. And lastly, we had the B Plus team doing their top 5 Transformers of all time, which is a very cool show that was done by Mike and the gang.
Of all time.
So very cool episodes. So you should, if you missed them during the holiday break, check them out. They're all in our feed and on YouTube, so you can watch the videos or listen to them as you do. All right. Well, let's get into the show and jump into all the media news.
Okay, well, we are going to start off this week with media news, and we're going to talk about some official line art that was put out on social media by Ken Christiansen, and this is for the Transformers and Magic the Gathering set, Brothers War, and this was for a few of the cards. Now, this is for the Prowl line art. I think that's what you're showing right now. Yep. So, he put that out, and then he proceeded to put out a few different ones here. This is for some of the land that you use in the game of Magic. This is for the plains, the island, the mountain, and the swamp. It is you're missing one of them here. Which one are you missing? Jesus, why can't I think of it? No, yeah, you're missing the forest. So these are integral. These are pieces of. I mean, you use the land to basically play the game, and Ken has drawn some Transformers line art, or sort of some Transformers pictures for these the lands here. These lands are actually part of a special set that's coming out in what's called Secret Lair. Now, these are just basically cards that currently exist. Now, obviously, these lands have existed since like '93, but they have redesigned the art on them, and that this happens quite a lot.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, Ken Christensen, you're saying he did all these because
Yeah, the art credit. Yeah.
yeah,
I mentioned this to him on Instagram when I saw these art come out, and because I said, well, the art credit says Joanna LaFuente, and the ones that you've done that are just you say Volta, and he replied saying that Joanna did the coloring, and the ones that I did by myself were done by Volta. So he said there's 2 lines of credit that you can get on the bottom of these cards, and for whatever reason, the colorists are getting the credit on here. So he has done the line art, and
like David Sondred here did the colors for this one.
The colors are on here for the mountain. Yeah. So yeah, he's not super thrilled about that.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, Wizards is just screwing up the credits all around on these cards.
All around. Yep. It's but these cards look great. For like a teaser for a future trips to the store, I do have these Secret Lair sets coming to me. The lands here are, I mean, they're kind of expensive for what they are. But the rest of the cards in that Secret Lair set are kind of cool, and they're worth the money to get them. But anyway, these are kind of neat, and yeah. So the art looks pretty good. I like the planes because you've got the Autobots way off in the background on the horizon, just driving along on Cybertron. It looks really, really cool, and I can't wait to get these in hand, and I can kind of really get like really close up and look at the detail in there that what Ken did. So so that's very cool, and that's available on the Secret Layer website. But yeah, and the other one is just Prowl. So you can follow Ken on Instagram, and you can see all the other stuff that he's done. He did a lot of these Transformers cards. The other two topics that I have for us before I throw it over to Mike are a couple holiday greetings. And these have become annual events, and people look forward to these. And the first one we have is Garry Chalk, who is known for Beast Wars Optimus Primal. He's also done a number of like live action roles by just being, just a character actor. But he has sent out a holiday voice message or video message. I believe it's on YouTube here, and it is a message called "A Real Bummer, Megs." And are we playing it? What's happening here?
No,
What are
I
we
was
doing?
just going to show this.
Okay.
YouTube is weird about playing YouTube on YouTube.
Right.
So,
okay. So that's that. And you can definitely watch it. We have a link in the show notes. And the second one, this I believe has been going on a lot longer. And this is voice actor David Kaye, who I guess, he has done on-screen roles as well. But he's more known for doing his voiceover work as well. And he is obviously, we know him from, doing Beasts Wars Megatron and then for doing Optimus Prime in animated. So he did his 2022 Christmas greeting, and then you have that there as well. So you can definitely watch both of these on YouTube, or you can go through the show notes and then find them there.
You can see in the recommended things on the right. He's been doing it, like there's a 2011 one down here.
Oh yeah,
he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, very long time. Yeah, so that's very cool. And Mike, take it away. What do you got?
I will gladly take this from you and start my own stuff. So I got a couple of updates from G1 production material that was put on the the Sunbow Marvel Archive website. So they've updated the site with the original script for the G1 episode Killing Jar. So that is cool. You can go ahead and take a look at that. But the thing that is probably a little bit more interesting on this is that the archive put up over 100 voice actor audition papers from all 4 years of the G1 cartoon. So you can kind of see what the actors had to audition with, the notes from what the voice director Wally Burr was telling them, how to run the character and how to really kind of find the voice for it. And you can see some of them have just notes that say, "Hey, this is supposed to be like inarticulate grunts and noises like animalistic noises," and then you have ones that have a far more detailed, in depth kind of feel to the character with a lot more notes to it. So it's a lot of material. So definitely take a look up at the Sunbow Marvel Archive. And if this is interesting to you, then you'll find a ton of different stuff you can take a look at. And the second thing that I want to talk about is that on the it's movie news. So we have on the NFL Nickmas. I'm actually not certain what that is because I really don't watch sports.
It was they were simulcasting an NFL game on Nickelodeon for Christmas.
Okay. Is that a thing that happens?
They started doing it with the Super Bowl in the last couple of years. It adds things like slime effects on the screen, stuff like that.
Weird. Okay. I had never known this was even a thing.
This is that indoctrination the kids are getting, so that you get the next generation of sports fans who are interested in football. So you got to.
All right. Hey, if that's what they got to do it, then all right, cool, whatever. But what they did on the NFL Nickmas is they put 2 animated transformations from Rise of the Beast, so we can see Optimus Primal kind of interacting on the on the field and transforming, and the same thing with the straight Optimus Prime as well. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of obvious that it was never intended to really go over like a football scene like this, because the animation is just passing over people walking in front of the screen. But it's a nice animation. It's a good transformation, well animated. Looks good. I will say that the transformation for the standard Prime, for Optimus Prime, is it's a little hard to follow. When he kneels down, like, it looks like his windows just kind of disappear and then they pop out of the truck mode, and that's just a little weird to follow. But
It's clearly not completely done yet.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks good though. Yeah, I have no real complaints about the look of the character. Maybe they could brighten up some of the dark patches on there, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it's cool. So if you were able to catch this on the NFL Nickmas, cool. If not, you can find it up on Twitter, and we'll provide links in the show notes if you want to take a look.
And if you're watching us on video, you gotta look already. So
Yeah.
Totally.
all right, let's move on with the rest of the show and talk about some convention news.
All right. We buckle up. We got a lot of convention news to cover here. Starting at TFNation, which will be happening August 11th through 13th. They've announced that Steve White is going to be there. He worked on the UK Transformer magazine for Titan, and he was a colorist for Marvel UK. So sure, there will be many people over in the UK looking forward to talking with him. And then David Sovolov, who was depth charge in Beast Wars, Shockwave, in Prime, and he is Rhinox in Rise of the Beasts. So I imagine that when they booked him, initially probably didn't realize that it was going to coincide so closely to the release of the movie. So that's a big get, and he is probably going to be a very popular guy that weekend. So,
Also, Blitzwing from the Bumblebee movie.
oh right. So I don't know why they had the Blitzwing picture instead of Rhinox, but I guess what I just said with the movie. So anyway, TFNation is shaping up to be a very exciting convention. Over on this side of the Atlantic, TFCon LA has announced a ton of people. So we're going to run through these. Josh Keaton, who is Jack Darby and Tailgate in Transformers Prime. He also had a voice in Voltron. But Alan Oppenheimer, who was the voice of Beachcomber, Breakdown, Sea Spray, and Warpath in G1, and he's your favorite skull-faced villain from Masters of the Universe. Melanie Britt, who was Alana in G1 and the voice of She-Ra in Masters of the Universe. Sissy Jones, who was the voice of Alita 1 in Transformers Earthspark. And Jeff Bennett, who is the voice of Captain Fanzone, Mixmaster, Prowl, Soundwave, and Ultra Magnus in Transformers Animated. Sue Blue, who was RC in G1 and Animated, and she was the voice director for Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and Animated. And Terry McGovern, who is the voice of Wild Rider, Windcharger, and Onslaught in G1. And TFCon LA is coming up in March 10th through 12th. So, tickets are available now. So start making your plans.
Jeff Bennett has done so many different cartoon voices. He is like beyond Transformers. He's done lots of Cartoon Network shows. Johnny Bravo, the dad from Dexter's Laboratory. He's in Gargoyles. He was Owen, who is the like Xanatos's lackey character in Gargoyles, and I think he did some other voices too. But he's a very distinctive voice, and like any production he's in, you can tell who he is.
Yeah, well, I would not have, like, it's been a while since I've seen animated, but I would have not put any of those Transformer voices and thought that was the same guy that did Johnny Bravo. That's really amazing.
Yeah. No, he's very versatile, but he does have he has a distinctive voice. He does. I mean, he can change it and do lots of different things, but he has a distinctive voice that you can like Prowl's voice in animated is very close to the character from Gargoyles, and also the dad on Dexter's Laboratory. It's got like that nice timbre. I really like his voice and the characters he's done over the years. So if you are able to get to TFCon LA, that would be a top tier guest to talk to. I would say. Yeah.
Awesome. And then one more convention to go. March 2nd through 5th is Emerald City Comic Con. And I noticed over the break, both Livio Ramondelli and Andrew Griffith have announced that they're going to be there. Andrew has a blog post up with his convention information. So please, I imagine that he's going to fill up pretty quickly. So if you're going, you want a commission, check out what he has to offer, and send in your request. And I've had commissions from both of them. They're both great. So check them out.
Wonderful people too.
Yes, yeah. Awesome. And that's all for convention news this week.
Okay, and since we have no comics news and nothing to announce about the Transformers comics license, that sadly takes us to the end of this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode.
When do you guys think we'll hear about the comics? Let's speculate just quickly. Just when do you think we're going to actually hear about it?
Emerald City and C2E2 are both coming up. And if
when is C2E2? I don't remember hearing anything coming out of any news ever coming out of Emerald City, but C2E2 I remember getting some info out of.
Hold on, point. It is March 31st through April 2nd.
That's so far away.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think the 3-month lead time between solicits and the release.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
with the movie, they're probably going to want to ride that. So I would think March would be the time to announce something.
I mean, we do get rumors of more Shattered Glass coming. So if they're doing a Shattered Glass, another wave of Shattered Glass figures, and they want to pack in comics, they've got to have a license lockdown to do that.
Or they could just not pack in comics.
No, I mean, yeah, they could do that too. I mean, that's definitely on the table. But I don't know. I mean, I would guess, we're not. If we might get at the latest, we'll get an announcement in the summer, and then new comics starting maybe in 2024. I don't know. I mean, if they wait this long to announce where the license is, it might be another few months before I mean, I don't know if they're going to release comics in the fall, new comics in the fall. I don't know.
Yeah. I would just think that they would want to ride the hype of the live action movie, but it's not something that I would see Hasbro announcing on a Fan First Friday type of event. They're going to want to have the comics press paying full attention. And I think C2E2 would probably be the place to do it. It seems to be a bigger show than Emerald City in terms of news, like you said, Daryl.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at it a little bit more, and I thought you touched on it a bit there, a little bit more logistically. C2E2 being in March, if they wanted to announce it there, we may end up hearing about it because of the movies coming out in June. with your 3-month lead time, the previews and whatnot will be out in March. It may get leaked, or, not even leaked, just kind of announced, before the big premiere announcement in early March. Or they start it I don't know whether they'd want it to be concurrent with the release of the movie, like starting the comic and the movie all at the same time. That's a big thing to try and do.
Even if it's released in August or, launched in August, like a month after the movie, you still have the hype.
Yeah.
But I hate that I have made the decision not to try to go to C2E2 this year because I have something conflicting that weekend. So of course it'll be at C2E2 because I'm not going to be able to be it.
Right.
All right. Well, we will keep watching, but no news, no new information yet. So crossing your fingers. All right. Well, as we are ending the show, we are giving a shout out to our masterpiece donatrons. Those are the folks who continue to support transmissions at our highest level on our Patreon. So we are really thankful for them. So we give them a big shout out in every episode. So thank you once again to John 4X11 Good and Demon Tech 82. You are awesome. And Mike, you are awesome too. So thank you again for joining us this week. And I really enjoy the Empire of Rust, listening to that and seeing where those characters are going. It's a awesome live play RPG podcast and very unique with how you've constructed the rules and integrated Transformers into the RPG world. So I really appreciate it. So let's keep that going. transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And anything else you would like to plug while we're here?
Well, don't forget that Jeremy likes it too. Yes.
One of the other people on the show that has been on it.
Yep. Anyway, so aside from Empire of Rust, I've started to post some toy photography again after a few month hiatus. So if you want to give me a follow on Instagram, it is at Minervion, Minervion.
Okay. And that will do it for this week's Transmissions Alt Mode. Thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool Transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our Transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.